Get my hair right.
It's the Taxman and the Strangler, and we're here to bring you the very best of everything.
We are.
That's right. Just like the past 2 weeks, we've been on the Facebook channel. Now we're live on YouTube, and we're on Big Prize channel, and we're also on my page. So we're getting the message out there, a positive message, right, Brian?
That's right. We're both on each other's channel, so it's great to have you on my show, and it's great to be on your show. So yeah, any questions out there for anyone? Yeah, it's been great. We've been today. We've been my wife and that Tony Grange, lad from Stockton, Dean. We've been up to Newcastle Gateshead. We met Stephen Wraith there as my new manager. We've announced it on the podcast on the Bad Blood. They asked me the reason why I'm not with Jamie Ball anymore, because he wasn't writing the book. So the way I wanted the book written, I didn't want to solely Lee Duffy's name. So we've done up, me and my wife. She's been up to 6, 7, 8 in the morning, writing like a beaver, non-stop working. So things are starting to happen really good. We're getting inundated by people to do shows. We've got television companies, we've got movies, all sorts is going on. It's gone crazy.
Absolutely brilliant. So now you've got a top-notch author on board, so it's all systems go.
Yeah, but he's not just an author. He's a movie. He does movies as well. He's made movies. He's in the Rise of Foot Soldiers, in all different type of movies. He directs them, he produces them. He's not one of these pretend ones.
He's a real one. Also, is he organising the night that you have on? Is it the 25th?
26th September.
John Fury's the 25th.
That's right. That's right. John Fury.
The weekend in Newcastle.
It's going to be fantastic at the Irish Centre. Tickets are 10 each, so I'll get them because they're going quick. Stephen Sayers is going to be there with me. Stephen Wraith's going to be in between talking to us. Stephen Sayers is like my brother. I've been friends for 30 odd years. So it's going to be a fantastic night for them. I'll be looked after. A lot of people come, Middlesbrough and Teesside are coming, so it's going to be really good. Everything's just going. Since I've been baptised, and it's a bit of a cheesy thing you think I'm saying, and he'll tell you, your life's just totally changes, isn't it, Bram?
Born again, too, yeah, right? You're new creation now, and it's all systems go, because now, you know, you're part of the kingdom, and
that's right.
Doing things.
And he's my brother, and you're surrounded by good people. Today it's all been Christians today, and we're all buzzing going up there, talking about Jesus, having laughs, having fun. And Tony Grange was a boxer. He had something like 30 odd fights, but he got a rotary cuff injury, and he retired from it. But he feels better now, helping people, and I'm the same. I used to fight people for fun and knock him out, that one out, him. Oh, it's great, yes, but it's just rubbish, really, because you're hurting people. So today and tomorrow and the rest of our life, all I want to do is help people and put good into the community and tell people, follow Jesus, because that's the most important thing you've got to do. Jesus is real, believe me out there. Jesus is real.
I love this, you know, it's a blessing to see you like this. And I'd just like to ask you for the viewers, you know, how is life now that you're living for God? How's life now compared to your life before?
What it was, I didn't have a life before, Bram. It was an existence. It was getting out, getting drugs, taking drugs, taxing people, fighting people. It was just living in life. The devil was in me in them days. And I've been cleansed, I've been cleared, I've been purified by the water. Jesus is in me now. My heart was stone, it's now flesh. I go to bed on the night and I sleep like a baby. My wife, I keep her awake, snoring. So before I go to bed and I'd be, oh, who's out there? What's this? What's that? And on the stupid drugs. And all they've done is made me like bitter and horrible and poison inside. It was somebody says it's like the devil's blowing his breath into you when you're smoking that crack. And that's what I felt like. And now I just feel every day you get up, it's a brilliant day. I'm blessed to be here with people like Bram and his son and my wife, and just I'm glad to be alive. It's fantastic. And I was suicidal before. Now I just love. I'm following the words of Jesus and following his footsteps, type of thing. And that's the best way to be. I feel fantastic.
Do you have any advice, Brian, for anybody else who may be feeling suicidal now, and maybe they don't believe in God, and they don't believe in anything, they don't believe in yourself? What type of advice would you give them?
I think you've got to get help off a doctor straight away. I think you've got to go and get some medical type of advice. If you're staying in bed, you know, you're not getting a shave. Not that he's got it. That's he wants to go that. If you're not getting shaved, you're not getting a bath. You're not wanting to do things. You're not going out. It's called ruminizing. So you're just sitting and looking at four walls. You start making things up in your head that don't exist. You keep thinking about the things in the past. He said this and she said that and he did this. And then you make excuses like I did. Oh, he's done me head in today. I'm going to go and get some crack. Oh, he's done me head. I'm going to go on the drink. Even though I didn't drink, I'm going to go to other people. So you make excuses to take the drugs or the drink, but you're making yourself more mentally ill, because that's what the mind altering drugs. So they alter your mind. So you've got to stop. The main thing I said, I know I've repeated myself over it, but I'm just trying to help people who haven't heard. You've got to get all them drug dealers' names out of the phone, all the numbers, throw them away. You've got to surround yourself with good people And the best thing in the world to get yourself right is go to church. Honestly, just go. I was scared to go. I was, because the taxman's got to church and I've done this sin, I've done that sin and everything. I thought, if I go in here, I'm going to get struck by a lightning bolt. And when I went in, the love and the joy and the buzz you get off it is better than any drug you can ever have. It's any drug.
It's free.
Yeah,
no,
it's fantastic. Fantastic. And you just go to bed on the night and think, wow. And then when you're helping people, saving people's lives, which we've been doing, the sad thing is, I was doing it on the resurrection page, but I'm no longer on that page. And I just want people to don't go on that page. Come on my new page, which is the Brian Cockerill page. And I'm also on YouTube, Brian Cockerill. So that's free as well. So I'm going to be giving advice on there to people. He's going to be helping me. We're going to have loads of different people. We'll probably get his mate on Graham Seed. We'll probably get Tony Grange on, Richard Kilty, Stephen Rafe, Stephen Says. We're going to get loads of people, from all different backgrounds to help you, because I've been helped by the church and these guys. So now I'm helping you. So what I'm trying to say is, if you help someone one day, and the next person helps someone, and the next person, one day everyone's helping everyone, and that's what we want. We need to do this through our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, and what you're saying about not wanting to go to church, that's a demonic thing, isn't it?
Yes, that's the devil, yeah.
I remember when Heidi was my wife, now she invited me to a prayer meeting. I didn't really know what a prayer meeting was, and I went and thought, what am I doing here with all these nice people? Yeah. I thought, they're thinking my ears, and I wanted to just run out, but I would have been very ignorant to do that, but I promised myself, this is the last time I'm ever coming to church. I'm never coming to church again.
It's scary, isn't it? It is scary.
Start putting hands on people and praying, and then I start feeling something. Then, what's this? This is good. And the next thing, I'm praying for Heidi, and something starts coming out of me, and I didn't know what it was. It means you're praying in tongues, and then I felt as if, obviously, I used to go to raves and all that when I was a kid, and I thought that was a powerful feeling. That was nothing in comparison to this. And then they give me this worship music. I put it on in my car. I was driving down the N19, one way, Jesus. I thought, what am I doing? I thought, I've been spiked to what's going on, and then.
Well, what's happened is
never the same after that.
The Holy Ghost has got in you, and that's what's happened. It got me, and I didn't believe
it. Not long after,
he told me him and his wife. I've known Heidi before she was a baby, and I've known Richard and all that from before they were even born. They were bumping their mum's belly, so they were telling us to do these things. We've been in this thing, the crackers. There's no such thing. It's just made up. There's aliens. It's this, that. We've come up with all different terminologies, but the thing is, he is real, because everything we've done lately. My wife and myself, it's just we've closed one door, and with the doors are going to be opening, and just people inundating from everywhere. It's just I can't believe how many people are, and the people we're saving. But just follow me on my YouTube channel. It's Brian Cockerill. It's free to subscribe, and also the Brian Cockerill page, which is on Facebook.
And if you're interested in martial arts, combat sports, mindset, I have a page, Legit Pro Wrestling School, on YouTube. Legit Wrestling School, also on Instagram and on Facebook. I put live videos out there a few times a week.
That's right.
I'm always ready to reach out to me anytime. We have people following us from Brazil, America, all around the world. And if you're watching on that platform, or if you're watching on my page now, make sure you follow Big Brian, because there's going to be all types of content on here. And you're going to be putting the old lifts on from years ago where you did the squats and everything.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I used to have it. Used to give me those on discs years and years ago, and it's fascinating.
We're on DVD then, DVD, but Peter wouldn't believe it. You can't squat 800 pounds. He's seen me do it. He seen it, and bend Olympic bars and benching 600 pounds. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. I'd love to see them lifts, but we've obviously got them from them days. So it's just to prove people wrong. But
is there anybody with any questions? I'm not sure about YouTube, but I know we're on 2 Facebook channels. If you have any questions, fire away. I know we're only late today. Obviously, Brian's been up to Newcastle. He's had an important day.
Yeah.
He's been filming a podcast. And what was the name of that podcast, Bryce? If people can check that out.
It's called the Bad Blood Podcast.
Bad Blood Podcast.
One was a boxer in his 20s, the one's at 35. We've been to the studio today. Fantastic studio. Lovely lads. Been with Stephen Rafe, my new manager. And Stephen says we're going to go far. And when he tells you that, you're going to do good. So I just felt like I was stagnant in a pond before. Now with this different manager, now totally different. He's been written to the craze when he was, I think, like 12-year-old. He's done books on them. He's in with all the top gangsters from London.
Did he also bring Mayweather and Tyson over? Big sold-out events for them.
The only problem is Tyson's banned in this country now, so you can't get him over. So he will have him straight over. He's had him over twice. He's had Mayweather over, and he's interviewed Mayweather. So their manager's my manager. So it's fantastic to have somebody like that behind you. And he's Stephen Sayers' manager as well. So he's done this. He's also got a book called Everybody's Dream. It's out now, Stephen Ray.
So with this new book, Brian, when it comes out,
Yeah.
you thought about doing a tour where you go around the full country doing a speaking engagement? Because I know Arnold Schwarzenegger did it, and he ended up getting a New York Times bestseller. He went out with The Education of a Bodybuilder. I'm sure you'll have read it years ago. It was half autobiography and it was half workouts. I loved that when I was a kid. I never stopped reading it.
We're going to do it.
That got him to bestseller.
And
Jeff Thompson, my old friend and coach in Coventry, he copied that model. He had 3 books. He had Watch My Back, On the Door, and Bouncer. He put them all together. He went on a tour. He went all over the country. He just contacted all the places. He went and did a big tour. Obviously, it was hard work, but he made the Sunday Times bestseller list.
Yeah.
They made a documentary about a play about it. Yeah. And then he went on to win a BAFTA, and he written that book while he was sat on the toilet sneaking off at work, writing about his fights on the door. Yeah. And now
he worked on construction. He worked in construction. He just on a building site, and he came from Austria, and he came over and he said I wasn't going to yodel in the hills. And he made himself. He wanted to be something, but he had to do the bricklaying, he had to do whatever, worked on doors as a bouncer, got a bit part in movies, but he's a really hard working man. He said, you have to give me this man here, works in whatever off. I won't say it on the but he never stops, and the only way you're successful in this life is you've got to keep working and working, you've got to keep pushing yourself. He says, he said, well, I go to bed and I get up and he said, I have 6 hours sleep. And the bloke said, I can't just have 6 hours sleep. It's not enough. He said, we'll sleep a little bit faster. Yeah, so he's just on the ball all the time, But if you follow people like them, you'll get somewhere. But if you follow people like I did, you'll get nowhere. All you'll get is in the grave, or you'll go to jail for life because it's not worth it. So
you had a call on your life all the way through. That's why you're not dead.
I've been at places where the people tried to shoot me. There's 6 people shot at me, missed me, and shot a lad behind me 12 stone. I've had guns put on me. I've been at the bars and all sorts. I've been attacked in houses, as you know. But I'm still here, and it's because the big man upstairs has kept me to do what I'm doing now. I'm helping to preach the word of Jesus and God, and we were just doing fantastic. I feel fantastic. I'm pleasure and honoured to have this man with his son with me, my wife with me, and the people I'm surrounded with are all positive.
I'm on top of the world scene like this. I just feel about hard work. It's everything, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I always say to the youngsters and the adults who I train, listen, never let anybody outwork you. You might not be as good as somebody, but hard work ethic's down to you. Always be the hardest worker in the room. Never, ever, ever let anybody outwork you. And that can be with anything, Yeah. Nobody has the right to be. You get out there and give it your best shot. Whatever it is you're doing, give it your best shot. Like today, Brian, has been up to Newcastle doing the podcast, and we know it's late now here in England. I know some of you guys are going to be overseas, but we're doing it because we agreed to it, and we're doing it. We're putting in the work. We're showing up, and we're doing the work. And do the same, be the same, get out there and get to it. Yeah. You've got to put in the work. Is that right, Brad?
Nothing in this world is giving you free. You've got to get off your backside and work. Even Jesus worked yourself, you're the carpenters, anything. Yeah. So you've got to work, but you can't please everyone. Don't try and please everyone, because even Jesus couldn't please everyone. But you've just got to you can do the right thing and get out of bed, do a little job, get yourself to work and do a bit of training. This man, he's been trained since he was a kid. I've trained since I was 13. He's trained since he was a kid. And the best feeling in the world, obviously, is Jesus, and following the way you walk. And but the thing is, when you train, that really helps you as well when you've got mental health issues. But you need
full of endorphins.
It does, natural endorphins in your brain, but you produce. But when you're taking drugs, you produce too many, so you end up getting schizophrenic on them drugs. So please don't take the drugs.
That's when you have a come down, isn't it? Because your body's used too much, and
that's right.
He hasn't got enough to put out, and you start feeling depressed.
And you're like down, and or you hide the kite on the night. The more high you get, the more down you get. So the more drugs you take, the more the come down you get. So it's like
the higher you climb, the stronger the wind blows. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and you just you make yourself ill. But getting back to Jesus and that, I didn't really believe in it. The same as Bram didn't really believe in it, but unbelievable. My wife kept saying to me, "You've been saved. You've been saved for a purpose." And we've been helping people, talking people down from America, even 4 o'clock in the morning. Answer the phone, and I he's really desperate. We're not the phones like the Facebook page. So I talked to him on the phone, and 4 hours I was on there talking to them, committing suicide. With the lads, army lads on the streets. We've got off the streets. We've helped them. My wife's helped them, got them into places. We've got people in rehabs. We've got people on diets. We've got people training. It's just been fantastic. We're doing we're about the lads today. We're on about when you're going to do the train the bride Cockerill way. Well, it's going to be a bit like Harold Benitez, his book type of thing, but it's going to be my book. What I'm going to tell you is all about the vitamins and minerals and proteins and creatines and gluten, how to take them, when to take them, when not to take them, how long to stay on them. Not to do with steroids. You don't need steroids to get big, and you can just make yourself better by training. And when you get them little, always when you go for goals, Grandma will tell you, don't say I'm going to get a massive goal. Just go for a small goal, and you keep achieving it and achieving it and achieving it. I was a kid, I was like that. I had legs like a two brush shanks type of thing, and my legs were huge, as you can see on the YouTube channel what I've got. I had 36-inch thighs, squatting over 800 pounds. But I believed in my head, I could do this, I can do it, and I didn't get that many results at first because I was training too much, not eating enough food. But I've learned over the years, like these Bram's learned, I taught him quite a bit about diet and nutrition. That's the most important thing you've got to do when you're training.
Do you know, looking back, Brian, when you're doing all this training as you were young, because I thought about this myself with my own life.
Yeah.
Do you think that you were doing it for mental health
Yes,
reasons without even realising?
Yes. Mental health, because I was bullied as a kid. I thought if I'm skinny, I'm going to get bullied. So I thought if I get big, nobody can kick sand in my face like the old pictures used to get. So I couldn't read and write, you see, when I was a kid. I had dyslexia. And I'd go and look at the pictures of bodybuilders, but I couldn't read. I couldn't read what they were saying or what they were doing, or what they were saying in the pictures. I just copied pictures. So I went to the gym. I was very embarrassed, very shy kid, because I was bullied. And I just started training. I just had a natural. I was always strong, even though I was like a little skinny thing. I just was like that type of swimmer. And my favourite film was Samson, when he pushes down there.
I loved it.
Yeah, with Victor Mature.
And you loved Geordie. That was my favourite.
Yeah, that was
the shot put. Come away, my wee Geordie.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I heard you speak about that, because I was 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I still remember it was in the. It was like
Hammerpro, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a higher reading section.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on that because I didn't go to school much. So I couldn't read these books. So I had to nick it, and read it and take it back. And it was all about he was skinny, wasn't he? Geordie McTaggart. And then he sent away for like it was like teaching him how
Charles
to live,
Atlas type of
Charles Atlas, he got strong. He carried his dad when he'd been injured, and then he goes to the Olympic. What a story that is!
But Buzzy's you done it,
and makes you want to train.
He goes to the Olympics, a bit like Richard Kilty, when he got the Olympics, he did it, Richard, and
can be done.
Yeah, of course it can be.
Unfashionable areas, rough areas can do well.
A little tiny council estate in Winniebanks to be the best runner in the world. Unbelievable.
Question of Sport Monday.
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic
BBC
kid.
One.
Absolutely. Follow someone like Richard and you can't go wrong. Fantastic kid. He's a man now, though. I call him a kid still because I've known him since he was a baby. So,
is there any questions on any of the Facebook groups? Any questions on there? No questions. Yeah. Any questions on there, Rickson? If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. This is just going to be a shorter podcast this evening. The main thing was that we got out. And we did it, and we're just spreading positivity. And obviously, we want to let everybody know that Brian has a new manager now, and it's time to shine.
How often would you train biceps and triceps?
Biceps and triceps, you could do biceps and triceps because they're a small body part. You could probably try to train them twice a week. But legs once a week, chest once a week, back once a week. You could do like say back and biceps together, chest and triceps, and then you could do legs another day, and then shoulders. You could do your triceps and biceps again. But you can't train like big body parts twice, like shoulders and that, because you burn yourself out. I would train maybe Monday, Tuesday, have a rest on a Wednesday, train Thursday, Friday, Saturday, rest on a Sunday, or you could train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and rest on a Saturday and Sunday. But you must get them couple of days rest, because you don't grow when you train, you grow after training when you put the food in. And you must, to get big, we've learned about this last week, to get big, you've got to eat big. So them young lads, you don't need steroids or nothing, because your body's producing tons of them. So all you need to do is eat every few hours and just push yourself. But yeah, biceps they recover a lot quicker because they're a small body group, and triceps are the same.
Brilliant. I have a question while we're on this topic. If you could only pick one exercise, one weightlifting exercise, what would it be? And I think I know what you're going to say. What would it be?
Probably squats.
Yeah, I knew it would be squats. I knew it would be squats.
Overall body,
because it's overall body. You're also getting your chest for the breathing. It's obviously your legs, your back.
It's the killer. And you see,
it releases growth hormone, doesn't it?
It does. It pushes the growth, and I think when you've got big legs, it's like a house, big foundation. If you haven't got a big foundation, it'll collapse. And I always taught him, train your legs, because they're the most important thing when you're fighting. Because you stood up and they keep you up. All the top fighters, Muhammad Ali and Tyson, Mike Tyson, Smokey Joe Fraser, all them had big legs. Prince Nazim, massive legs for a little bloke, and they all had big, massive punch. So,
did you ever do bodyweight squats, Brad? Did you ever do bodyweight when you first started out?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, just bodyweight, probably done like 100 reps and things like that. But it's good to do like
sissy squats, didn't it?
That's right. You can do them onto your bed type of thing. If you don't want a hard piece of wood, you can damage your spine type of thing. So you better, if you're going to squat onto your bed and back up and down from taking a soft compound. But yeah, you can do press ups, your sit ups, all that type of resistance. You don't need to lift weights. And another thing, if you can't afford things, get the elastic bands. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
bands to train where you can do all sorts of exercises with them.
Dave Bailey said what are squats, but I think he means squats.
Squats.
Do you want to do a demonstration?
Squats.
Yeah. When you put the bar on your back and you squat up and down type of thing. So with the weight in it, it's for your legs. But you can
careful if you nibble, you might get a fella trying to get you to squat in.
Yeah. The new book. You met me down here, so Stokesy, I think. Yeah.
Brian, another question.
Yeah.
Your favourite pre-workout meal when you were training for strength, and how long before would you eat it?
I think you're better having 100 grams of porridge an hour before, and 50-60 grams of protein, a bit of peanut butter and half a banana before you train, an hour before you train, and straight after training you want that same combination straight in your body, and then an hour after you've trained you want a big meal, maybe something like rice or baked potatoes or pasta, something like that, chicken, pork, rabbit, anything type of food like that. You've got to have a combination. You need more protein than you do carbs, because if you have more carbs you'll get too fat. So I'd have 7% protein, 25 carbs, and 5% fat.
Protein, it comes from a Greek word that means of prime importance. So
yeah,
the Greeks knew them fellas were strong, weren't they?
Phenomenal. Well, that's where I went to Greece, and the Olympic Stadium, the first ever, Mount Olympus, and that. They began. They were the gods, of the training. So
and the ancient Olympics, whoever won the wrestling was the champion of the entire Olympics. It was all.
Well, I've got no chance. It's in.
The champion of the Olympics.
Yeah. Simon Laws is saying, can you show him how to do squat shots?
Yeah, when you come to the house, you know where I live.
There's a different page for you.
Yeah, he knows where I live. Come and see me. Yeah.
What I'd like to do now, Brian, I'll just mention like a fighter or a sportsman. I'll just mention the name, and then you just give us like a few words on the person, and we'll go through. So, Daley Thompson.
Fantastic athlete. Did the javelin and all the stuff. Really competitive. He was never give in. Absolutely fantastic. Won in the Olympics, didn't he? I remember as a kid, he just wouldn't give in, and he was a really good sportsman. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali,
another one. Changed the way people think in boxing. Tyson Fury copies off him now a bit, where he'd shout at people and do things, but it's all hype. And Muhammad Ali used to say, the people that don't like me pay to see me get beat. The people that like me pay me to see me win, so I can't lose. But he was the best for psychology fighting out of them. Him and Bruce Lee, I'd say, were the best two for psychology for training I've ever come across. That Bruce Lee's phenomenal, the brain, the way he thought, and he was just absolutely like this guy. He does that type of stuff.
Master, inspiration for me too.
Yeah,
he said,
phenomenal.
Absorb what's useful, disregard what's useless, and add what's specifically your own.
Yeah, he has that analogy where you can. When the glass is full of water, you can't. No matter how much you pour into it, you can't get any more. So you come up with things like that, which are fantastic.
What's your favourite martial arts film ever? As well, that's a good.
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, it's got to be Enter the Dragon. Yeah.
It's
got to be Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
I like. Don't get me wrong, I like Van Damme stuff and all that he did, but he wasn't no Bruce Lee. No.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was the man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The one who started it all.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua,
from what he's done in his past, he's obviously been caught and things. He's been caught with a few things. He's a really good kid. He helps people. He helps people in the community. He's not just in it for the money. He loves to help people, and he's a fantastic boxer. But he reminds you of Frank Bruno a little bit.
Yeah.
The same type, a little bit robotic. And I think Joshua, I'm not being disrespectful. I think you've got a bit too much muscle, because the more muscle you've got, son, the more energy you burn. You need more oxygen. So I think if you strip down a little bit, look at Tyson Fury. You can dance around the ring all night, because he hasn't got that tons of muscle on. So it looks good, all that muscle and everything, but it isn't good when you're boxing. You get a lot. You got Mike Tyson, who's 15'7". He'd be brilliant. He went up to 15'10". That £3 extra to slow him down. So you've just got to go. When I was fighting could fight 24 stone. I was at 20 stone 10. I was brilliant at that weight. I could do a 15-minute round on the bag. I remember Peter Rowe used to do 20, 30, 40-minute round on the bag. And I used to Peter said, do it longer. And then he taught me, there's another fantastic fighter from Sunderland. He said, because every fight you have is different. It's like a game of chess. But my favourite fighter is the Mayweather of all time. I like him, I think, because of what he's done. He's beat everybody, and he's had a tough life.
Shot while he had hold of him.
That's right. And he's just out there. I know he's a bit loud and things, but that's the way you've got to be in boxing. You can't be, well, I might win, I might not win. You've got to be, I'm going to win, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. Got to be, you've got to be like that. Some people think you're big-headed, but it's not. It's the way they live. If you start feeling, oh, I'm not going to win, but Bram will tell you that. I've had fights, he's had fights, and you're going, I'm going to win this, I'll knock him out. Easy. Next minute you're going, oh, what if he catches me with a left hook? What if he hits me with the right hand? What if he does this? So you go over the fight in your mind, especially if you've got like a fight, say 10 weeks down the line, you're fighting someone. If a fight just breaks out in the pub, it's easier in the street, but when you've got something to fight, especially when they're really good and they haven't been beat, then you know you've got to fight in your hands. Like I've had with like Duffy's and Garsides and Big Grahams and people like that, you know, so they're like legendary fighters that haven't been beat, so it's good. It's good when you win the fight, you know how long you're going to win, but you still have that doubt, but it's good when it's over.
Lenny McLean, good boxer, but not professional boxer. He was good in what he did in the governor things and things like that. He was a really nice man. He was lived old models, a bit like Roy Shaw. Got on with everyone. They've been to jail and things like that, but they wouldn't go in houses where there was kids and women and things like that, and they wouldn't carry knives and things like that. It was old school fight. You'd have a fight with them and then go and buy your pint the same day, and that'd be finished with. Roy Shaw, he talked to me a few times on the phone. Through the drugs, I never got to meet him, through me being an idiot, but he's probably up there now, and God rest his soul. But a lovely man, Roy Shaw. I know, Brian, that you a long time ago you went in Charlie Bronson's solitary fitness routine, but was it? And I know Charlie Bronson drew pictures of you, and he contacted you. I think it's terrible that man's still locked up in solitary confinement after
probably
all this time. It's a travesty. There should be people writing in the street about that. So I know that he gets to see what's going on. And do you have a message for Charlie Bronson?
I just love it a bit, and we're probably going to be doing another book with Charlie next year. But we were talking to one of his ex-managers, Rod Harrison, who's a lovely man. He was said he loves Brian and that, and he sent me a book, and he signed it all to me, like a taxman book. And Stephen Rafe talks to me every day on a daily basis, and he says that he was asking about us and that. So I just think it's just far too long for what he's been in there for. It's just ridiculous. Just paedophiles and nonsense and terrorist murderers.
Going in and getting out, that man's still there.
People at Lackenby were blowing people up in the place in what's it called, Scotland, the place where Lockerbie, so Lockerbie, and they blew them people up and killed them. They got out. Charlie hasn't done anything like that, so you know it's just ridiculous. It should be out.
What about Paul Sykes then?
Paul Sykes wasn't a nice man, wasn't for me. We'll read in my book what I said about him and what Lee Duffy said about him. He wasn't the person what Jamie Boyle portrays. He was horrible in jail with kids. There was allegations of him raping people and everything, and I was in there with screws who told me, ex-prison officers told me everything about, you know, and I went to fight him in 1993 in Wakefield. He wouldn't come out the pub. Lee Duffy tried to fight him in Durham. It's in my book. And Lee was only 21-year-old, I think, at the time, and he was there, and he was coming to fight me, calling him everything under the sun, all horrible different names, he was shouting at him. And he wouldn't do nothing, so screws kept them apart. But he wasn't liked at all, that man. He used to have people standing on the table singing nursery rhymes, and people have written books about him. Think it's funny. I don't think it's funny to torture someone in a pub, make them sing nursery rhymes, and bullying people. I just didn't like it. Don't like bullies at all.
Yeah, well said. And I second everything what Brian just said. It's the truth. Everybody knows, don't they?
Everybody.
You can't try and glorify people that are going around raping people and bullying people. Nothing clever about it.
Yeah, I do.
Any more questions? Any more questions on the
pages? I'd like to shout out to Jimmy O'Shaw, but we did a great thing down in Wigan. Jimmy's a lovely lad, and he mentioned me on his podcast, so I said I'd put on here. And Stephen Sean Atwood, and the Wild Man.
A lot of people have been watching that episode, haven't they?
It's gone crazy. It's something like
a good podcast. I like it a lot.
I
like the Wild Man. He's
funny.
He seems like a good fellow.
But he knew me from the old days. He said he was a fan of mine. He said when he was in Acklam, there'd be three names: Lee Duffy, Brian Cockerill, and Bill Graham. He said, but always them two would get called the bully names, and Brian Cockerill was like the nice person who helped the old people and kids and stuff in the street. And I was like, Roy Shaw was like that, so I like to be like Roy Shaw, you know, that type of. People say, could you beat Roy Shaw? You can't say that because Roy was one era, I'm in another era, so you can't say that anyway. And I wouldn't want to call somebody like Roy Shaw, you know, never, or Lenny McLean were fantastic fighters and brilliant people.
What have you both got anything to say about this anti-knife campaign?
Oh yeah.
We're going to
So,
ban. What
yes.
do you reckon? Have we got a message for the kids out there? Or I think about
Yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah, let him
knives,
say, yeah.
knives are,
Yeah.
you've got to be careful, haven't you? Because if
Yeah.
you're carrying a knife, you're gonna use it, aren't you? You know, it's one of those things, and people are carrying out with fear. No, when I was really young, I was raised up from being very, very young, and
Yeah.
it wasn't good. It says in the Bible, if you live by the sword, you die by the
Yeah.
sword, and I know all about
Yeah.
these. When I was 16, someone first pulled a lock knife on me, and it was that Ride Road Chip, you remember? In
Yeah,
Rosewood,
yeah.
and I had my hands in my pockets. I remember, like, he said, "You're going to stab me, aren't you?" But he pulled it out, and I remember just, it's a funny feeling, isn't it, when you're only a young kid, and then I went to bed button him, luckily the knife's gone off and all that, and I thought, I'm going to always have one, you know, and that's the problem, because if someone tries to do it to you, you're going to try and have one. And when I was 17, someone knocked me on the car, hit me with an axe in here, and it's no good. Obviously, that light's no good.
No.
It's no good. And then if you go around using them, it's going to come back on you, and you might go to jail for a long time, or whatever you do. Then you've got to live with that forever. When you've got to live with it forever, whatever you do. Do with violence. Violence
comes back on you when you get
powerful drug, can't it?
You know, it comes back on you when you get older as well.
It's not worth it. You know, if you're in that, if you've got something to prove yourself by getting in the ring. You know, and
that's right.
There's no point for fighting outside. Fighting in the street. I always tell the youngsters, you fight in the street, you know, end up in the front of the newspaper, go to prison. If you fight in the ring or a cage or in the match, you're going to go in the back and you're going to be a hero. There's a place. There's a place to fight. If you want to fight people, there's always going to be somebody that will fight you. You can go in judo competition, boxing, MMA, you know, the list is endless, and you can learn to look after yourself, look after your body, you can learn to have discipline. Those knives are no good, and you know, and I think that the government need to deal with this, because you know, if you have trouble with someone, you can go and buy a big knife or an axe or whatever. They're too easily accessible, and you know, some people will call this so get rid of the knives, and then they'll be ordering loads of knives off you, and then they'll be laid all around the house. So you got to really live it. Just refuse to live it. Just change your mindset. I don't have any weapons in my house at all now. No weapons at all.
I have. It's my wife. She's a weapon.
You know, and I have a legion of angels with me at all times.
That's right. You don't need it. But the thing is, with we're helping, and we're going to be the admin now, and a campaign right across the country. We're going to be running the North East of this area. Me and my wife, called Ben Span, put down your knife, save a life. We're going to be admin to a page, so we're going to let you know what's happening there. We're trying to get an amnesty where we're going to stand at the bin while you put the knives in, because if you put down your knife, somebody else can pick it up. So my analogy is, if you throw it away and destroy it, the more knives off the street. And Bram's right. I think you should be licensed before you can come buy these certain knives, and what you're going to do with it, why you're going to use it. It's so easy to use, and people are getting killed every day. They're getting stabbed where we live, Thornaby and Stockton. It's just horrific.
I know. I've trained in knife fighting systems as well. I've trained in Filipino systems. I've trained in Cockerill. Because in the Philippines, everybody's good. A lot of the techniques in boxing, like where you're rolling, that comes from when the US Army were in the Philippines. Because boxing used to be stood back, and then they're seeing how these guys were bobbing and weaving. That's where the speedball comes from. That all comes from blade. You see, the train you, they get you to throw the jab, and they bring the light blade out, so you bring your hand back, and they have all little drills that you do, and they come with the blades making you slip, and that's just their culture. But the good thing about when I was learning SIOC was you learn in-fight management. If you get cut out and make tourniquets and things like this, and after I've been doing it, I was on I was going and paying the wages. Now when I went to the nightclub, there'd been some trouble. There was a kid, and he was cut all down here because there'd been a fight, and somehow he'd been cut with, not with a knife, but with a glass. And he was off his head. He was saying, I'm dying. And blood was flying out. So I got a scarf off a woman, made a tourniquet, stopped the blood. And I'd only learned it that day in Doncaster at Mick Shaw's. I'd learned it that day. It was a Saturday. Got him in the car. I definitely put him back. He'd lost 4 pints of blood. He was going in and out of conscious, saying, I'm going to die. I was saying, you're not, you're going to live. And it was flying up. And in my car, it was like I had him laid back, but it was hitting the ceiling of the car. So you can imagine what it's like. And when I dropped him off, and then his dad was obviously over the moon. I know his dad really well-known people. But the police were saying to him, why did I drop him off? That's the one reason why I was dropping him off. But it was one of them. I was not very liked by the authorities then, because I was running security companies and stuff. But that's the best thing that I've ever did in martial arts. The best thing I've ever did in martial arts wasn't winning these European titles, competing in America, getting all these different black belts, this, that, and the other, training people to win things. It was saving that lad's life. And if anybody's listening now and doesn't go and stab somebody because of what we're saying, that's better than anything. Only one person has to listen. Put down the knife. Don't get involved in all that. It's all a load of shit.
Well, if you're carrying a knife, the thing is, if you get in anger, you're going to use it. So don't carry a knife. At the end of the day, I think only cowards carry knives myself, and it's not for me. It never has been. I just don't agree with it. I just like the old-fashioned I'll fight on the beach or whatever, I'll fight in the field and forgot about it. But it's not the case now. It's like 20 handed on the 20 and putting windows through and petrol bombing houses.
Don't be going around with people that are doing these things. And Brian was saying earlier on about how he was around a load of bad people. And now he's around a load of good people.
Yeah, of course,
and
yeah.
The psychologists have proven you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. You'll have the same amount of money as them. You'll have the same sort of successes. You'll have similar relationships with your spouse. So the great thing is we have choice. You can choose who you're going to be around.
That's
and
right.
also online, what are you watching online? Who are the people you're talking about? Create something absolutely amazing. Make it that when you put your social media on, you just hit with positivity. You're like, whoa, come on, let's have it. This is the day. I cannot wait to get out there. Rather than loads of people, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and complain and bitching and being negative. Get out there and be positive. Become the most positive person, you know, because you can.
And don't get out of bed in the morning saying, I've got to go to work, I've got to do it. Say, I'm thankful I've got a job. Definitely. I'm thankful I've got a house. I'm thankful I've got a wife. I'm thankful I've got my kids. I'm thankful I'm full of Jesus. And you go to work and you have that lovely feeling, brilliant. Wake up this morning, 8 o'clock, both ready.
If you don't like your job, train to learn something new. You know, learn something new in your spare time. You're not a tree. You haven't got roots.
You're not a robot. If you got to do the same thing every day, it's called a program. And you keep doing the same thing, you're stuck in that program to change it. You know, do something.
Can you say hello to Edward from Dublin? He watches you and he thinks that you're still absolute legends.
Hello, Edward from Dublin. Thanks for watching it. God bless
Edward. That's where my family's from, Ireland.
And that's my family originated. The McGivrans, they're from there.
I don't follow football, but I like this stuff. Somebody give me it. And when I was a kid, my football manager supported Celtic, and he used to tell me to kick this kid with a Rangers top, and he'd buy me a jersey. So I used to be kicking that poor kid up and down, and I really like my manager, but I don't care about football at all. But I always hope the Celtic win.
Yeah.
I hope that fella doesn't support Rangers. He'll be smashing his telly up.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any more questions? What's your current diet like, Brian? It's quite good actually. I got up in the morning.
There's questions on here as well. Get on.
So, what's your current diet like? It's quite good. I have porridge oats in the morning with water and 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of porridge. You get them out of Tesco. It's only £2.5. But I'm on a gluten-free diet at the moment. I feel a lot better, and the bloatness in my stomach has gone down. I'm on brown bread instead of white bread, brown rice, pastas, things like that, all brown. My wife cooks me all the rest of everything she can cook for fun, but it's all nice stuff, you know. But I eat about 4,000, 5,000 calories a day, but I don't train heavy like I used to, so I don't need as much. But I train a lot of reps. Sometimes I'll do 200 or 300 reps in a day. But I might only have like 10 kg dumbbells. But when you're getting like the 25 reps and you're putting in 50 reps, it's just as hard. So you don't need heavy weight when you're older. Obviously, my joints are a bit knackered now through also. I just like lift lighter, and you can get just the same result with a lighter weight, but just exaggerating, really, really slow, but up and down, and you'll get the burn just as good as a heavyweight.
So we've been on for 40 minutes, and it's a lot later this time. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know, if you're on Facebook and you just hashtag live, if you're watching it live, if it's replay, if you can hashtag replay, that'll be really big help. And I know a lot of people are on YouTube now. You know, please hit subscribe. You know, it's really important that Brian builds this channel up, because you know he's been doing a lot of great work, and you know, let's support what Big Bri's doing. And as he said, he's got a new manager. That old page has nothing to do with him. I don't know why it's still going, actually, to tell you the truth. But Brian has a new page, Brian Cockerill, so get it followed, and you know, just watch, because this story has only just started, and you know, Brian hasn't even got started yet. This is only the beginning, and it's only going to get better and better. So you know, welcome aboard, fasten your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride, because we're going to be back every week spreading positivity.
Every week.
And if Brian ever needs me to do anything to do with any of this, I'll be there. I'm looking forward to watching this transformation. I'm enjoying the ride too.
I'm just over the moon that I'm back with him as well, since I've missed all the time with him and proper people, hanging on with idiots and becoming like on drugs and things like that. So, like I said years before, my life wasn't a life; it was just an existence. Getting up, taking drugs, taking sleepers to get to sleep. It just wasn't a life. It was just horrible. I go to bed now and I look back at my wife and think, oh, I'm blessed. She's here. So, geez, God says, love your wife more than anything.
Yeah, you got to love your wife more than Jesus loves the church.
That's what you got to do. So I do that. I love my wife more than every church. But
Barry Suggett second hello.
Barry Suggett, hello Barry, mate.
Barry,
you all right? Storm and Norman, how are you doing? So go and watch Lee Duffy's fighting style like. He was mainly good with a big punch, but he never got his medical. That's another thing Lee Duffy never got his medical for a boxer. People say he's going to be a professional boxer. He never even got his medical. He just learned the basics of boxing. He could fight for fun. He wasn't frightened of no one, but he thought he was invincible like I did. No one's invincible. We all cry. We all break our hearts. We all get a fear. We all we all have to look at things in a different perspective these days because Lee's not here no more. God rest his soul. Nearly 30 years he's passed away now. So what else? Time Lord's unbelievable. 12-year-olds using words. Gonna. And we've got about 12-year-old kids. He's right. Yeah. But it's even worse in Manchester and Liverpool. There's 10 and 12-year-olds on BMX bikes shooting each other. Do you think it's bad up here? I remember my wife, she'll tell you she lived in Liverpool for 7 years and people were getting shot in front of her in the head and heads blown off and by 12-year-old kids shooting them, and she had to run out of the way. It's just the police put a blanket on it. So with the Saturday night campaign, what we need to do, it's us, everybody in the community needs to nip together, and we need to nip it in the bud because we're losing friends, we're losing
family.
Takes
the whole village to raise a child.
It does. At the end of the day, we all must come together. This is what's happening with all the nobody wants any money or nothing. It's not to do with money or anything. All we want people to do is people are getting brought up now. They're looking at these gang culture in America and they're copying with the knives and the guns, and they're starting to get brainwashed by it. So we're trying to brainwash them.
Don't let that music brainwash you. No. Most of them rappers are full of shit.
Yeah, and they just have all that.
They're all fake. NWA, they weren't gangsters. They were just actors.
Yeah.
Don't buy into it. Don't buy into it.
All you'll do is
life is life. Fight for it. She was right.
Yeah. And the thing is, with all that stupidness, gangs, you don't need gangs. He just walk around the gang. I don't go around the gang. People go in gangs are obviously scared because they need people with them. And when you're in gangs, if you're a kid, 10, 12-year-old, you're a 16, 17-year-old, you're going to do things for them because you think it's clever and good just to get in the gang. Then you're going to get locked up. And
dare to be different.
Once you go to jail, that's it. A lot of people have helped themselves and got themselves out of jail and got themselves better. But once you go to jail, you get a record. It's hard to get a job. Really, really hard. So just don't follow people like a sheep. Just be yourself.
So next week, Bri, is it going to be back to 1 o'clock Friday?
Yes.
1 o'clock Friday.
I apologise to Bram today. I know he was excited this morning waiting for me.
We could have sold tickets last week. We could have sold tickets. And maybe that's the future.
Yeah. We had 525 people there last week, so we're going to get 600 next week.
Let's get 600 in.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. But to be there, obviously, just at home today, but we've been up since this morning.
So is it definitely going to be on next Friday?
100%.
What time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock,
straight after the class, straight after the MMA and Jiu-Jitsu classes. If you want to come and join us first to do a little bit of training, feel free to get in touch.
Even had me showed me bits of things last week. And thanks for the guys last week over at the gym with us. It was fantastic meeting.
Some great pictures. So follow the page, you'll see the pictures.
Yeah.
You see the videos.
But don't forget, I'm going to be doing this as well, my YouTube channel. I'm going to be helping people with any type of problems. You can follow me on the YouTube channel. It's Brian Cockerill YouTube channel. That's all it is.
How would you
it's all free.
Life in 3 words?
Come to my life at the moment. It's fantastic.
One word, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's only one word, isn't it? It's fantastic. As you can see, we're both buzzing, we're high as kites, and that's all. Any drugs, you just life. You can be high on life, and that's what we're like now.
And I'm exhausted. I've coached a lot today. I've coached.
And it's still.
I've got the last questions. Hyenas with a lone lion that night to kill Duffy. How would it have gone if you were with him that night?
A lot of people have said the same thing. When I was with Lee Duffy, we had the fight, and we ended up being friends. And we've gone through this in the book. It's Brian Cockerill, Lee Duffy, Taxman at Teesside. Once upon a time at Teesside, I told you all that wasn't going to happen, and I told you it wasn't, and it hasn't. So yeah, this is getting written now, and it's a total different version. It's the truth, 100%. The proper people were there. We've been round. We've still got a few more people to talk to, but we're flying with it now. But I think if Lee Duffy, when Lee Duffy was with me, no one before he was with me, people were trying to kill him. They tried to shoot him, shot him twice. It was starting to set him alight. But when he teamed up with me for 3.5 months, one person tried to fight Lee Duffy, and I can honestly say Lee Duffy only punched one lad. One day we were driving across, as ever crossing, he jumped out to Lee, and ran over and punched this lad. I said, "What was that for, Lee?" I was a bit out of body. They used to bully me. One of the 6 of the lads used to bully me as a kid. So you bullies out there, beware, because it can be reversed on you. But yeah, Lee never got hurt when he was with me. And when I went to jail, I was only in jail about 3 weeks. He was killed. But that night, I'd have probably been there and I would have broke up because I knew both parties, you know. So I think you would have survived that. But you can't say nothing, can you? You can only just think
what Brian's saying there, there's a lesson in that. You know, Nietzsche said that be careful when you chase the dragon, you don't become the dragon. And, you know, when you've been bullied or whatever, then you can go and before long, you just start getting high off all this violence. And, you know, it doesn't lead to anything good. And, you know, it's like pissing against the wind. It's going to come back on you. You have to be careful. You have to be wise, be strong, be brave, be kind. And when you're strong and brave and kind, you're going to choose a different path. It's about that narrow path. They say the narrow path's hard to walk. I'll tell you something, that wide path leads to destruction. The narrow path is hard to walk, but it leads to the Son of God. You know, it leads to salvation. It leads to eternal paradise. To get on that straight and narrow, people, you'll be glad that you did. Until next time. Yeah,
and the thing is, when he trains people, he trains them like I train people. We train them to protect themselves and love the sport, not to go out and be bullies. And he's had kids train with him.
Give people second chances, but there comes a time when
he throws them out for bullying people. So
Andrew Atkinson, everybody sees a day.
Aki's fantastic.
As a kid, just like Brian, when Brian be stopping people burgling houses and stuff, Aki was the same. You know, there wasn't many men like that about what were looking after the people on the estates. And as I got older, I lived that type of life as well and tried to keep it right for the people what lived there.
Yeah, he brought Aki through the phone the other day. Ray Manny's a good lad. Dave, all my
What
friends.
ages do you train?
We're starting now. We're taking age for a program from 3 to 5 year olds, but the regular classes is from 6 years to 11. Then we have 11.
I think I'll go in that class. I might have a chance. I might have a chance.
Yeah, feel free to get in touch on the Legit Pro Wrestling School page on Facebook.
Yeah,
and I'll hook you up with a VIP intro session.
And the kids are a little bit embarrassed and shy when you get there. They come leaps and bounds on there.
Hashtag Brian Cockerill Podcast, and you get a free VIP intro session.
There you are. That's fantastic.
So that's the promo code.
Yeah. So for everyone out there, God bless you all. Take care.
God bless you.
And be safe.
Thank you very much.
And you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Was it?
Yeah.
I love that. I was an hour in.
As if you've done that, haven't
I'm trying to touch it.
See my Wi-Fi.
I'm touching it like a monkey.